Hello everyone, Guillaume Letzman here, host of the E-Commerce Wizards podcast, where I feature leaders in e-commerce and business. Today's guest is Brent O'Brien. He's the e-commerce manager at a company called Pactimo. They're a cycling apparel company. So our topic today is what's working now in e-commerce. So we're going to be talking about acquiring customers, traffic, conversion rates, what works, what doesn't work. So anyone trying to increase their sales, their top line, their profits for their e-commerce store, this is an episode for you. So let's jump right into it. Brent, thank you for being here today.
No, thanks for having me. Glad to be on.
Yeah, and we had a pretty good chat in the pre-interview, so I know you know your stuff, man. Let's just go right at the top of mind. What's working now in e-commerce?
Well, it's a great question. There's a lot of things I think you could focus on. Looking at it today, what we've started to focus on, you've seen the economy, you've seen the struggles maybe with Google ads or Facebook ads of trying to utilize first-party data. What we've started to do is how do we move the needle? Conversion rate, AOV is the easiest way to increase those sales. So we've looked at a couple different strategies that we try to utilize throughout the year, and then really put them into high gear during Q4, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. What we've started to do is we've looked at, hey, we're getting customers to the site. How do we get that AOV up? So we really focus on driving some incremental revenue through some upsells and cross sales throughout the site, whether that be in product recommendations on the PDP. One of the things that's really has been helpful for us is putting bundles on our PDP. So allowing customers to get a little bit heavier of a discount when they're purchasing 2 or 3 products, getting that AOV up, trying to increase that value of that order. So we usually give a significant discount for those customers coming in and buying multiple items that can be found on the PDP that really pair well with
product detail page for anyone who doesn't know, and average order value for anyone who doesn't know AOV. All right.
So really trying to get that average order value up, trying to get that up. So we basically have a bundle on most of our top selling products. And we try to change it. They can click into it. They can add, their size, their colorway that they're looking for, and really kind of complete their own, as we use in the cycling industry, kit. So they can go in jersey, bibs. We usually pair it with some type of lower item like an accessory, really trying to get that and drive that revenue up. One of the other ways we've done it is, there's definitely different tools out there to do this. We usually do something in the mini cart or slide cart to help try to increase that as well. So we have some AI running behind the scenes that will recommend products based on what they have in their cart, what they've recently looked at. And then we have some of what we call our impulse buys, lower priced items that there doesn't really need to be a lot of description. We'll put like cycling gloves or a neck gaiter or socks in there, something that's lower value. That's just say like, oh, it's like you're going through a grocery store and you're at checkout, right? And you just see that candy bar, just trying to get that extra little bit before they go to checkout. And then we've also entertained the idea of having, and have done it, putting some upsells or cross sales, those impulse buys at checkout to see if we can get another additional sales there as well to increase that average order value. So we've seen a lot of success for that. We've utilized that since September, and we've seen a pretty significant size of revenue come from that with little lift on our end.
Yeah, there's two schools of thought on that. Like
right.
putting stuff at the checkouts. Like one school of thought is let's try to squeeze an extra sale right there on the last page of the cart, after the cart on the checkout. Some other people say no, streamline it all, even remove maybe the top menu or something. Just like make sure they check out, remove all distraction.
Yeah, and we definitely have tested it, and we didn't really see a dip in conversion, right, or abandoned checkout rate didn't increase. And I agree with you. If we would definitely seen, our abandoned checkouts increase, we would have dropped it. We've kind of developed that strategy during more of like a sales period where we'll do it, where we know people are on the site and they're ready to purchase and stuff's on sale, and our conversion rate we know is not really going to suffer. Where those times where maybe it's not during a sale and it's like, okay, I have a certain amount of money that I can spend with you, this company, then that might not be the right time to do it, because to your point, you don't want to lose that sale if it's already in the cart. And trying to squeeze out another, some additional revenue from them may not be the best strategy. We've seen it work. And we've seen a tremendous success during sales periods where we do our seasonal closeout sales, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, where we know people are they're in a buying behavior, and we know that, likelihood of them coming to the site and going through that checkout funnel is going to be successful. So we've seen that. Some of the other things that we've seen successful is first responders discounts. So allowing, doctors, teachers, first responders, government workers, get a discount, and really giving back to what they do. It's just kind of more of a giving back. It's something that's on our site, throughout the year. They just have to go and verify that they are actually employed or part of those organizations, and then they get a code that automatically gets applied at checkout. And we've seen tremendous success from that. I've done it a couple different places and seen success. You can do some marketing or advertising with them to kind of get promoted on their email schedule if you want during high sales periods or throughout the year. And we've done some of that too to help drive new customers that are on those platforms that they usually have millions of followers or people that are signed up. So it's a good chance to get you some new customers into your database. Not having to go the AdWords and stuff like that. You can market with them. We haven't really done it. Some of them will take a commission if they go directly from their site to your site, where they can see your offer on those sites, and then they'll get basically that code, get to your site, browse around, and then check out. So we've seen, 6 figures in sales from that in 1 year with really no lift from us. And sometimes, a 10% commission, if that being, but we're given, a 20 or 25% discount year round, unless it's in a sales period where we discount it a little bit, but they're still getting something on top of our sales prices. So it's not that barrier is kind of broken down for them. And we've seen a lot of success, and the conversion rate is tremendous with those kind of strategies. If anybody's out there, and you want to support first responders and teachers and government workers, that I would highly suggest going down that route. It's an easy way. It's really, easy code to install on the site, low maintenance, and other marketing opportunities out there within those companies. So definitely would highly recommend going down that route for anybody looking to get some additional revenue or some additional customers.
That's interesting. Some people were challenging sometime, like, but would have gotten the sale anyway without giving the discount. Am I cannibalizing my margins and stuff like that? But you seem to say, like, no, it does help increasing sales, increase top line. Conversion rate is even higher than regular sales. Go for it.
And we see repeat purchases. They're in your funnel now. They may have been customer years now, but the likelihood of them coming back to you and instead of going to a competitor because you offer this down is high. We see multiple repeat purchases by these individuals, 2 to 4 times a year at least. And so that, that lifetime value for those customers is only increasing by offering this.
Right. Loyalty system.
Loyalty systems, kind of brings me to the next point, right? Loyalty rewards. One of the wings we have on our site, it's another way to drive, loyalty amongst your brand, giving you some brand awareness, but also keeping them in that funnel, understanding that, like, hey, we appreciate every dollar you spend with us, and we're willing to give back to you on that. And we've created a couple different tiers. You qualify for those tiers. It's a year rolling. So once you enter that tier, you get additional points, and then you're in that tier for a whole year. And what we've started to do strategy wise is we go out to these groups, and really before we go, we give them exclusive access to product launches, sales. So they're the first to know, hey, you're going to get access to our, right now we're in our winter closeout. So you're going to get, 24 to 48 hours first access to crack on to get whatever you want on the site. So, we do that. They can earn, a gift card on a purchase or a discount throughout it, free shipping. So we see value in it. We get a lot of repeat customers from that stay in that funnel. Me personally, I'll go to a grocery store because I know I'm going to get gas rewards off of it. So it's kind of the same philosophy, and we've seen really good success with it. We continue to develop that program and enhance that program to try to get the best value for us, but also the best value for our customers and give them a great customer experience when doing that. There's a lot of, there's not a lot of many in probably the cycling industry that have a rewards program. So we like to say, that we're one of the few that actually would love to give back to our customers, and especially when they're coming in and they're new. Helps gain some traction on social media for likes, follows, which has helped us gain and grow our social media. So it's kind of a win-win for us, both from the social media aspect and then from the customer experience.
Right, and you guys are you're the brand owner, right? You're not just a retailer selling other people's product. You're selling your own products, your own label.
Correct. We're direct to customer. So we don't have any retailers. So we really got to own that relationship, and we've got to do it well. And so we make certain that we try to get those repeat purchasers and increase that lifetime value of those customers on the site.
Right, because if somebody is in a different boat as a merchant there, that there are retailers and a lot of other stores offering the same branded product from a big household brand, and especially if that product has minimum advertising price and MAP policies that are actually being enforced, not all of them do enforce it, even if they have it, then loyalty program becomes extremely important, because you're almost bribing the customer to buy it from your store versus another store. So how many points of percentage are you willing to give back in points to the customer so that he buys it from you and not from the other one? Can you bundle some gifts, some freebies with it, some free trials of something?
Yeah, so, definitely. Yeah, we try to give them either a percentage off or a gift card so that, if we are running a sale, they can use the gift card in conjunction with the sale. And rather than, if you give them a code and you're on a sale period, usually we don't want a double discount in that situation. So to maintain our margins. So we still do that. We'll give some freebies if we have some like lifestyle hats, t-shirts and stuff like that. We'll set those at a point volume to try to like, hey, you can get this for free. So definitely looking to enhance that going into 2023 as well.
Cool. So we looked at average order value, try to getting that up with cross sales, and so on, referring products. Now we're talking about, all those loyalty systems. Anything else that you guys have put in place that gave you a lift in sales?
Yeah, there's a couple other things, that we've done. We've really, there's two different thoughts that we've kind of looked at. I went back through, and we usually create a sales landing page anytime we have a sale. So we use it for social. We'll use it to drive email. And we did that all last year. And, then I look at the homepage. So I look at like, okay, sessions, conversion rate, bounce rate, all those key metrics that any e-commerce manager is going to look at. And, what we came to the conclusion is, hey, we're driving everybody these sales pages, and we're kind of like redoing the whole website on these sales pages, or putting collections on these sales pages, but are they actually making a difference? And so we've actually gone away with that. We'll do it occasionally for some Facebook or Google ads, but we're starting to drive people to the homepage and kind of doing a homepage takeover for sales. Okay. And we've actually, because we've seen in the conversion rate that we actually get a higher conversion rate if we send people to our homepage rather than a sales page sometimes.
Any idea why?
That's a good question. And I would say the reason why is you drive them to the sales page, and, from at least my experience and some of the heat mapping tools that we use, they go to the sales page, and then they end up using just the nav, the function, as they would normally when they land on a site. They may use some filters here or there. Usually the sales pages we create, we try to separate men from women's products, because we have a lot of SKUs in our catalog, and so it can get overwhelming if you just throw all these products on a sales page, and the scroll depth's not going to get there. So we've kind of taken the strategy of, hey, we'll go back to the homepage, we'll let people customers shop just as they normally would, but we'll just do a little bit homepage takeover for a sale, and kind of mimic a sales page a little bit, and not try to overwhelm them as much. And we've seen our conversion rate increase during sales periods. We've seen our average order value increase slightly during those sales periods. So I think we're, sometimes from our standpoint, when you have a lot of variants, a lot of SKUs, and you direct them to a sales page, sometimes it can be hard for the customer to find what they need. And so they end up just using the nav anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and some of that, on a collection page, you're limited with the space at the top of the page. You might have that in the AdWords or the email. But we've seen, hey, hero image, send them the homepage, hero image, letting them know what the sale is, how long it's going for, and just kind of keeping it simple. And letting them shop as they normally would if they came to your site anyway.
Yeah. And just to be careful with your advertising campaign with Google, if you do something like this, that you don't have too many campaigns all over the place, all of them sending just to the homepage,
right?
Because then your quality score is going down. Google's going to penalize that. It's going to increase your cost per click in your pay-per-click campaign because you're less relevant, you're less targeted. So for sure, Google wants landing page that really, really match the ad copy, the keyword in it, and the keywords that you're bidding on. So you would want your homepage to temporarily fit that ad campaign. Everything is aligned, but a limited number of campaigns, and that could work very well indeed.
Yeah, we do have some sub campaigns that run off of it, right? That will focus on particular products, especially like in a winter closeout. We'll have stuff around, Google AdWords around jackets and vests and bib tights that are directed to those landing pages, so that we can focus on those sales. So definitely great topic, great suggestion right there.
All right.
This episode is brought to you by MageMontreal. If a business wants a powerful e-commerce online store that will increase their sales, or to move piled up inventory to free up cash reserves, or to automate business processes to reduce human processing errors, our company, MageMontreal, can do that. We've been helping e-commerce stores for over a decade. Here's the catch. We're specialized and only work on the Adobe Magento e-commerce platform, also known as Adobe Commerce. We're among only a handful of certified companies in Canada. We do everything Magento related. If you know someone who needs design, support, training, maintenance, or a new e-commerce website, email our team at support@magemontreal.com or go to magemontreal.com. That's MAGE Montreal.com.
Do you have other things top of mind that you'd like to talk about, the stuff that works, before we move to the next topic, the stuff that didn't work?
Yeah. I think, what we've seen is, we've kind of had to adapt. We've gone to like the SMS marketing a little bit. So we've started to focus a little bit more on there. We have different flows within our system, our email triggers where, hey, if they're part of our SMS program and they've opted in, go ahead, send them the email. They don't open it, send them a text. We get that. We see the click through and on it, the click through rate and also the conversion rate to be very high. So we've started to implement some other kind of journeys or flows for SMS marketing, browse abandonment, cart abandonment. We'll also target those individuals as well, like our loyalty program that I mentioned before. We'll give them exclusive access to what we call breakaway deals or flash sales that we normally may not communicate through email. We'll also give them access to sales a little prior or product launches. So it's kind of like a little, trying to make them exclusive, little ownership. The likelihood of them opening a message on their phone is higher than that of email. So we've seen great success of that so far. We're continuing to grow that program and looking at other ways we can continue, whether it's through flows or other journeys that we can provide our customers through the SMS route.
Right. Yeah. Opening rates over 90% on SMS, but on emails, you're happy with 20-30% off. And if you get 50, that's amazing. And your list is very well connected to you. So you're talking about here not promoting your flash sales through email. How do you promote your flash sales?
We'll do them through email, but they're usually at segmented targets. So we won't necessarily go out through the gamut. We we'll segment. So if somebody just bought a pair of bibs yesterday, they're probably going to be left off of that. Some of this is like.
So is it a reactivation campaign or?
It's a little bit of a retargeting reactivation. Like, hey, we know you purchased a jersey or something, we'll go ahead and segment it and be like, somebody that hasn't bought if we did a flash sale on bibs, who hasn't bought bibs from us in the last 3 to 6 months, or who hasn't bought bibs in a certain time, then we'll send it out to them. So we've done a lot of segmentation with that stuff to figure out. And as far as like the cycling industry too, there's lots of different types of cycling. You can do road, mountain, gravel. So we've tried to target and find out and ingest that from our customers, and then target to them with specific flash sales that we may be looking at mountain bike. We may have some additional inventory or excess inventory of mountain bike shorts. Okay, let's actually just reach out to our mountain bike audience and send them this flash sale, and then we'll send it maybe to everybody who's on our SMS list. So we've done a lot of segmentation on that. Usually we don't run them very long. If it's an item that we think is a popular item, and it kind of fits multiple different cycling activities, then we may reach out to the whole email list. So it just depends on the product, but we've started to do a lot of segmentation around that, and we've seen that actually perform well. We're trying to, devise a basically targeted audience for the product that we're promoting.
Okay. Well, good. Thanks for sharing those. So now to the next topic. Anything that, implemented this, and in your case, like, either it did nothing, or maybe it made things worse.
Yeah. Wow. There's a lot of trial and error that goes on, right?
It's part of it. Everything's you're playing Battleship.
What doesn't work.
Let's try that.
Right. So, we've done some we've done some testing on the site, hey, we have this Granger. Hey, let's change the add to cart button. Right. We tried a multivariant test where we kept it how it was. We put, I think right now it's really what we call our orange color, red, orange with white text. We did, hey, let's keep it black with white text. And then we were like, we'll do a variant option where it's, our orange colorway for Pactimo with black. We'll see. Is it actually going to make a difference?
Does it?
It didn't really, to be honest with you. There was no clear winner. You had a slight variation of conversion rate, but it wasn't like, oh, I've got to go change everything now. It's like we did the test, it didn't really work. We had the hypothesis saying like, hey, maybe we just go a little bit simpler out of the add to cart button. It would work, and we ran it for two and a half weeks, and nothing really stuck, and it was very, very similar from conversion rate to AOV. And so, basically we said, we don't need to change this, right? You think, hey, by changing just a tiny little element, we've done some imagery testing, or even some copy testing around a homepage and in email. And, we really haven't seen any really big results, or anything that we need to implement. I would say on the site, one of the things that we did try that really didn't work was, we went ahead and we tried to do a whole campaign around the loyalty program, where we, refer a friend, put it on a couple of different places, trying to drive it. We have a order tracking page that you can go to that allows us to put some marketing materials, sales information. We're trying to promote that. And, to be honest, we didn't really see a lift. I was surprised. Usually, hey, around the loyalty program, if you can refer a friend and, give 20, get 20 kind of scenario, we would have thought, hey, there's a couple different places. We put it in some content slots around the site to try to promote it. And, it really didn't give us the lift that we were expecting. So there's a couple of things I know we've tried. We've done some other stuff with content slots around, trying to promote new products and trying to get them to, hey, you're on a thermal bib tights page. Let's try to get them to, we just launched some new jackets and vests. Let's put a content slot in the collection page to see if we can drive traffic or our customers to our vests and new jackets. And it really, it wasn't really successful. We didn't get a lot of people trying to, customers going through that process. And so we've kind of, gone to the more route where we're going more of like an imagery approach within the collection to kind of promote that collection rather than try to get customers to go to a different collection after they've been on that collection. So something that didn't work out for us, and so we learned from it, and we adjust it, and that's kind of the principles that we've taken. And we'll try stuff it doesn't work. We've tried some other cross sales, or I should say, product recommendation strands on the homepage, on the product detail page, and those we thought would be successful based on seasonality, and it really didn't get much click through. We tried to move them up because we saw the scroll depth on some pages, and they weren't getting a lot of clicks, so we had to try to abandon that, and we try to stay away from those, and we've dropped them down lower on the page.
Okay, yeah. So somebody looking for whatever product, bibs or shirts, might not be interested by jackets. Maybe you just show them more of the same, other collections of that category of products. But it's interesting to have a little bit of testing or to get to know like which other type of product interests you. So it's always a bit of a challenge for any of us running the marketing on those e-commerce sites. Okay, I know he likes cycling apparel and he's looking for shirts, but is he looking for anything else? And then how do you go and fish for that information? Or you're browsing through Home Depot stuff. Okay, what else is he interested in? Maybe he has a second project that could try to be the provider, the supplier, and make some more sales. So you can have a little bit of a section that's sort of trying to fish, but you should have one section that's clearly just showing more of the same alternative choices, preferably upsales, so you have a bigger sales order.
Correct.
Okay, cool. All right, last shotgun question like this. Anything else top of mind before we wrap this up?
Yeah, top of mind, we're always constantly trying. I would say, to our point, like as an e-com professional and even market professionals, like we're trying to growth hack, right? So, we often try to find, whether it's through an app or slight development cost to us, like, hey, will this actually move the needle? So we often do free trials through an app or through some type of SaaS company where, like, hey, we've been wanting to try this, right? Is it actually going to move the needle for our customers? And so we've tried to adapt that going on this year. Like, hey, we're going to try more. We're going to see if stuff is going to move the needle. So anybody out there, I would definitely recommend that. Try to see if you're in that, if you're able to, and you're in that, you're not too concerned about it, that it's not going to negatively impact the site or customers' experience. Like, maybe go that route. We've started to do it. We've seen some good successes with it. And we're going to go that route here a little bit more in 2023 to see if we can move the needle even a little further this year.
Yeah, you never know. Each marketing activity, will it yield something? Will it break even? Will it be not worth it? And you have of course, development costs or license costs, software costs, and so on. So it's a balancing act, but yeah, you have to explore and try new stuff and see what sticks.
Definitely.
All right. Well, Brent, thanks for being here today. If somebody wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
Definitely best way. You can go ahead and probably LinkedIn's a good way to reach me, or you can go ahead and reach me at bobrien@pactimo.com. Two easiest ways to reach me. LinkedIn's probably the easiest. Just shoot me over a message, or contact me that. You can follow me on LinkedIn, and definitely can answer any questions. We can have, always looking to grow and learn. So if there's any other e-commerce professionals out there, would love to get in touch with you, see what you may do, that we can also just communicate and have a conversation of what's working, what's not working.
All right. Thanks, Brent.
Thank you.